In our fifth YouTube video, we're going to keep talking about the IELTS exam and the rating criteria, and specifically how to achieve a band score 9. As you can see, we're focused on two of the, let's say, scoring criteria that's important on the IELTS exam, speaking exam, fluency and coherence and pronunciation. Pronunciation here refers to a candidate that can use a full range of pronunciation features with precision and subtlety. Fluency and coherence is what we talked about before. Any hesitation that is content related for a person scoring a band score 9 is not to find words and grammar. We'll talk about this. Let's translate these into more tangible issues. Although it may seem too obvious to some IELTS teachers and IELTS candidates, the roots of the issue lie at the roots. What do I mean? The issue is how an IELTS candidate can acquire fluency. Some very common suggestions that we hear almost everywhere is that you have to sound fluent, you have to speak fluently, try not to pause often, try not to sound choppy, do not memorize language, do not memorize answers. These seem very vague to me. They sound familiar, don't they? Now, I have changed how these suggestions might look. We want to practice English. That means we want to use it when we're preparing for the IELTS exam, the way the native speakers do. But how? Not sounding choppy? Fine. Not pausing? Fine. But specifically, how do we do these? So I'm going to give you some practical solutions. You have to learn how to use the schwa. For example, I'm a student. You have to learn how to speak fluently. How? I'm a student at the university. And this refers to being able to have linking, use linking at the university. Or I'm, a contraction. Do not pause often. That is probably not related to pronunciation at all. If you're well versed in grammar and vocabulary, and you're not going to stop. Otherwise, if you stop like to scratch your head, it's not going to be a problem. So you don't stop to look for vocabulary, words, and grammar. Try not to sound choppy. How do you not sound choppy? I used to live with my grandmother. I used to, the schwa again, with my grandmother, not grandmother. So I'm not sounding choppy because I used to live with my grandmother. Do not memorize language and answers. It's obvious why we shouldn't do that, because you won't need to when you learn it the right way. And even if you do memorize, it's not going to work out right. I hope that you can join us on the IELTS Mastery channel for more practical tips on how you could rate high on the IELTS exam, specifically now focused on the IELTS speaking.